So to wrap up this great afternoon conference, we will have concluding remarks by Father Robert Sirico, the President Emeritus and co-founder of Acton Institute. His leadership on issues at the intersection of faith and economics is known throughout the world, and his recent book on the economics of the parables is a favorite book of so many Christian business leaders. Please join me in welcoming Father Robert Sirico to conclude our conference.
Michael, I think it looks better.
Thank you so much. It has been on behalf of Chris Maurin, who is the president of the Acton Institute and who is here. I want to say that it has been a privilege to collaborate with the Gregorian University, with Liberty Fund and the Templeton Trust to sponsor this conference on artificial intelligence, human dignity, and the free society. This morning, a small private conference of scholars wrestled with some of the defining questions of our age, which, as you see now, has continued this afternoon. How do we welcome a technology of almost unimaginable power without surrendering what makes us most truly human? There is a tension that runs through every discussion of this sort, which we've seen even today. Sometimes it's spoken, sometimes it remains unspoken. The tension between what we might call the troglodytic and technological extremes. On the one side stand those who fear the machine so deeply that they are tempted to retreat, to demonize progress, to encircle the wagons around a romanticized past. On the other hand, there are those who raced forward with evangelical fervor, convinced that every problem, spiritual as well as material, yields to a greater processing power and larger data sets. Both extremes are comfortable in their own way. Both absolve us of hard thinking. One says, smash the machines. The other says, dissolve into machines. Neither is worthy of the human vocation. The Christian tradition has always refused both the troglodyte and the transhumanist. It is a tradition of the great and, body and soul, faith and reason, contemplation and action, nature and grace, Jerusalem and Athens, God and man. In our time, this means yes to the astonishing possibilities of artificial intelligence, and yes to an unchanging anthropology that declares the human person is irreplaceable, unrepeatable, infinitely dignified, and ordered to a transcendent end that no algorithm can stimulate. This "and" is not sentimental. It is demanding. It requires us to think clearly about what AI will do economically, socially, to millions of our brothers and sisters. Economic dislocation is coming. Let us speak plainly. Just as the loom, the steam engine, the assembly line, and the microprocessor each destroyed certain kinds of work while creating others, so will advanced AI. Truck drivers, paralegals, radiologists, translators, accountants, many will find their livelihoods upended. Some jobs will vanish entirely. Others will be created that we cannot yet name. This is not a betrayal of the free economy. It is the free economy. Creative destruction is not an unfortunate side effect of liberty, it is its beating heart. Capital and labor are reallocated toward higher uses. Living standards rise, and the least among us gain access to goods and services once reserved for royalty. But, and here is where the moral norm enters decisively. A free economy is not a morally indifferent economy. The dislocations must be acknowledged with honesty and mitigated with solidarity. We need safety nets that do not become hammocks, restraining programs that actually work, retraining programs that actually work, appropriate financial assistance, relocation assistance, and above all, a culture that continues to say every human being, whether his labor is currently valued by the market or not, possesses a dignity that is literally infinite. The unemployed coder and the retired farmer are not obsolete. They remain icons of the living God. This brings us to the heart of the matter, which is anthropology. Everything depends on getting the human person right. If we believe that man is merely a bundle of neurons, a particularly complicated arrangement of atoms whose telos is pleasure and survival, then AI will inevitably surpass us, and in surpassing us, rule us. If the best we can say about ourselves is that we are slow, wetware versions of what the machines will soon do better, then the future is not augmentation, it is replacement. But if we confess with the psalmist and with 2 millennia of reflection that man is the capax Dei, capable of God, that every human person bears within himself an infinite horizon, that we are not just biological machines, but pilgrim spirits, destined for communion with the absolute, then AI changes from a threat to a servant. A powerful servant, yes, a dangerous servant if misused, but a servant nonetheless. The decisive question in every design choice, every regulation, every boardroom and classroom is therefore this: does this use of AI enlarge the scope of authentic human flourishing, or does it shrink it? Does it respect the transcendence written into every human face, or does it treat persons as modes of a network, as data points, as predictable consumers and producers? Only a civilization that still knows what a human being is can answer that question correctly. Only a civilization that still believes in the soul can keep the machines in their proper place. Friends, the stakes could not be higher. We are not choosing between progress and dignity. We are choosing whether progress will serve dignity or devour it. The Church and every person of goodwill has something irreplaceable to offer here. A vision of man that is neither troglodytic nor technocratic. A vision that says yes to the future without saying goodbye to the eternal. Let us leave then this conference resolved to speak that and, loudly, clearly, and without apology. In laboratories and legislatures, in startups and seminaries, the machines are coming. Let them come as servants of a humanity that knows itself beloved of God. Thank you very much.
Now you know one of the many reasons it's a joy to work at Acton. Thank you, Father Sirico.